Over 1400 years ago, a man named Tamim Dari was caught in a brutal ocean storm. His ship washed up on an uncharted island, where a strange creature led his crew to a massive chained figure. This prisoner asked them highly specific questions. He wanted to know if the date palm trees of Baisan were still bearing fruit, and if the Sea of Galilee was still filled with water. We can now locate these markers on a map. Baisan, an area surrounding the ancient ruins of Beit Shean in modern-day Israel and Palestine, is seeing a documented decline in agricultural output. Due to rising populations and water shortages, the local date palms have reached a point where they are struggling to survive. The chained man's second question was about the Sea of Galilee. Over the last 50 years, climate shifts and heavy usage have caused the water levels in this massive freshwater lake to drop to levels that government officials have labeled dangerous. The prophecy also named the springs of Zugar, located near the Dead Sea in Jordan. Environmental mismanagement and regional droughts are currently causing those specific springs to dry up as well. Measurable physical environmental changes are aligning with a 1400-year-old warning. The drying of these specific water sources serves as a geographical countdown to the emergence of the Dajjal. While the natural landscape shifts, political power is actively consolidating. Regional maps are being redrawn, clearing the board to prepare the Middle East for what some religious hardliners openly call the arrival of their Messiah. To rule globally, a centralized political structure is a prerequisite. Diverse nations are being brought under the umbrella of massive international organizations. These groups enforce global standards, but are heavily influenced by a single superpower, effectively building a worldwide governance system. This centralization extends to the economy. We have a worldwide financial system tethered to a single dominant fiat currency, monitored by massive financial institutions, while nations steadily shift away from physical cash. By integrating biometric data, digital IDs, and centralized cryptocurrencies, governments are constructing an infrastructure that can track and control exactly who is allowed to buy, sell, or trade at any given moment. Political consolidation, total financial tracking, and digital surveillance are assembling a turnkey dictatorship. The throne is being built before the ruler even arrives. When the Dajjal finally emerges from the region of Khorasan, he will step into a world paralyzed by drought and famine. To a starving global population, he will claim to be God, offering to prove it by commanding the sky to rain and the dead earth to grow crops. These acts have a technical explanation. Nations are currently investing billions into cloud seeding, a process where planes fly through weather systems, releasing particles into the atmosphere to artificially force clouds to produce rain. The Dajjal will weaponize these exact climatic tools. His most terrifying tactic will target human grief. He will approach people who have lost their parents and offer to resurrect them on the spot if they accept him as their lord. This resurrection will be an illusion driven by advanced hardware. Using AI voice cloning, holographic projections, and direct brain-computer interfaces, he will bypass the physical world and project the faces and voices of the dead directly into people's minds. The Dajjal does not need military force to conquer the globe. He will exploit human desperation using a technological matrix designed to mimic divine power. Standing against this integrated digital empire is Imam Mahdi. Despite leading a righteous military campaign, his forces will be fighting a war against a totally surveilled, technologically superior enemy that appears unbeatable on paper. At the height of this siege, Allah directly intervenes. He sends his spirit, Hazrat Isa, Jesus, descending on the wings of angels onto the eastern white minaret of the Great Mosque in Damascus, Syria. As Isa enters the mosque, Imam Mahdi will prepare his forces for prayer and attempt to step back, offering the leadership to the Prophet. Isa will refuse, instructing the Mahdi to lead the prayer, establishing a unified spiritual chain of command. The dynamics of the war instantly shift. The highly engineered artificial dystopia of the Dajjal is finally confronted by raw, uncorrupted divine reality. The moment the Dajjal actually sees Hazrat Isa, his entire facade breaks. Stripped of his technological confidence by the pure presence of a prophet, the Dajjal will literally begin to melt away, like salt dissolving in water. The false god panics and runs. He attempts to escape using his global transport network, rushing toward the gates of Lod, a location that sits exactly where Israel's massive international aviation hub is located today. He never makes it onto the runway. Hazrat Isa catches him at the gate and strikes him down with a spear. By shedding the Dajjal's blood, Isa proves to his followers that this entity was never a god, but a mortal fraud. With the architect dead, the entire system fractures. The AI illusions fail, the digital currencies collapse, and humanity is freed from the most sophisticated deception ever built. In the direct aftermath of the battle, Hazrat Isa unites the world under a single faith. With the exploitative financial systems gone, poverty is eradicated so completely that no one even accepts charity, and the earth returns to a state of natural balance. This peace is broken by a final, insurmountable physical threat. Thousands of years ago, a just ruler, often associated with the ancient Persian king Cyrus the Great, known in Islamic tradition as Zulkarnain, built a massive iron wall to contain a chaotic force. That ancient wall finally shatters. This releases Yajooj and Majooj, Gog and Magog. They are a massive, mindless horde of humanity that sweeps across the globe, draining entire lakes and consuming every scrap of food, water, and resources in their path. Facing a swarm of this sheer volume, human weapons are useless. Allah directly commands Hazrat Isa to retreat with his followers to the rugged peaks of Mount Sinai, instructing them to simply pray. The Dajjal tested humanity's ability to see through a high-tech illusion. Yajooj and Majooj present an entirely different test, surviving a pure, unstoppable physical force through absolute submission to God. Allah answers Isa's prayers from the mountain by sending a microscopic plague. A parasite strikes the horde in their necks, wiping them out overnight. Giant birds are then sent to carry the remains away, completely cleansing the earth. With the earth cleansed, humanity enters a long-predicted phase of peace. Hazrat Isa lives out a natural human life. He marries, has children, and upon his eventual passing, he is buried in the city of Medina, beside Prophet Muhammad. This progression suggests that against both sophisticated deceit and raw chaos, human agency reaches its limit, and the restoration of order follows a logic beyond human engineering.